seas. Sing a song full of the faith. Lift every voice and sing. Till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hopes that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on to victory is won.
Candy girl of my world, you're so sweet, you're my special treat. Candy girl, I wanna say, will you with me? You brighten up my day. Candy girl of my world, you're so sweet, you're my special treat. Candy girl, I wanna say, when you with me, you brighten up my day. You brighten up my day.
Our birth and death are easy hours like sleep and food and drink. The struggle staggers us for bread, for pride, for simple dignity. And this is more than fighting to exist, more than revolt and war in human odds. There is a journey from me to you. There is a journey from you to me. A union of the two strange worlds must be. Ours is a struggle from a too warm bed to clutter with the patience full of sleep. Out of this blackness we must struggle forth, from one of bread, of pride, of dignity. Struggle between the morning and the night. This marks our years, this settles to our plight.
When I was a young boy, at the age of 5, Mama said I was going to be the greatest man alive. But I'm a man. I'm past 21. You can believe me. I had lots of fun. Now I'm a man. I spell M. A child. N. That spells man.
to the hip hop, the hippie to the hip hoppity. Don't stop, you rock it to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie. Now what you hear is not a test, so I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the woogie. Say up, jump, the woogie to the bang, bang, boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, rock this rhythm, then I make your body rock. Now, so far, you heard my voice, and though I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hopes that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on to victory is won.
Candy girl of my world, you're so sweet, you're my special treat. Candy girl, I wanna say, will you with me? You brighten up my day. Candy girl of my world, you're so sweet, you're my special treat. Candy girl, I wanna say, will you with me? You brighten up my day. You brighten up my day.
Our birth easy hours like sleep and food and drink. The struggle staggers us for bread, for pride, for simple dignity. And this is more than fighting to exist, more than revolt and war in human eyes. There is a journey from me to you. There is a journey from you to me. A union of the two strange worlds must be. Ours is a struggle from a too warm bed to clutter with the patience full of sleep. Out of this blackness we must struggle forth, from one of bread, of pride, of dignity. Struggle between the morning and the night. This marks our years, this settles to our plight.
When I was a young boy, at the age of 5, Mama said I was going to be the greatest man alive. But I'm a man. I'm past 21. You can believe me. I had lots of fun. Now I'm a man. I spell M. A child. N. That spells man.
The hippie to the hip hoppity, don't stop. You rock it to the bang bang boogie, say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie. Now what you hear is not a test, so I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say hello to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say up, jump, the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie, let's rock. You don't stop, rock this rhythm, and I make your body rock. Now, so far, you heard my voice, and though I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man, Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Hi, my name is Vinny Foglia, and I want to welcome you to this Run for the Roses virtual event. My family and I have been involved with Marillac St. Vincent for 25 years, and they have a special place in our hearts. The work they do to help children, youth, families, and seniors in need is incredible, and I was honored when they asked me to take part in this event. Run for the Roses is a new fundraiser, and we hope you will enjoy what's in store this evening, and that you will donate to this amazing mission. I believe in it, and I hope you do too. Thanks again, and welcome.
Thank you, Vinny. Hello and welcome to each of you, and thanks for joining us for the first Run for the Roses benefiting Marillac St. Vincent Family Services. Got a few housekeeping items for you while you join us here tonight. We, of course, are having a fundraiser, so if you haven't already found out how to give, you can do so right above me. You're going to see a button that says Donate. That's a good place to start. If you're on your phone, you can send a text message, send MSV Give to 61094, and it'll walk you through the whole process. You can bid on auction items, purchase one of our raffle squares on the mobile bidding site, and generally support the great work being done here. If you have gotten all duded up for the big day, for the Kentucky Derby, you got your fascinator on, your fancy hat, you got your seersucker jacket. Look at Pete. Pete's got a hat on. I didn't wear one today. We've got a competition. Best hat of the day. We have no idea what the prize is, but if you put it out on Instagram, hashtag MSV Derby Duds, and just tag at MSV Chicago, we will have an award. So I don't know if there'll be 5 people that sign up or 5,000, but if you do that, it'll be great fun for us to take a look at it. Here it is, Derby Day, and you got to have a cocktail, right? It just wouldn't be Derby Day without a cocktail or 2 or 5 or whatever. The Mint Julep, the Woodford Spire, these are the 2 big ones. And if you ordered one of our kits, we've already delivered all the ingredients you need to make your cocktails. And if you're just sitting there staring at all of it and not knowing what to do, we've got a little bit of help for you today. We got none other than our Board of Trustees for Marillac St. Vincent, none other than Mia Gigante is going to show you what to do with all that great stuff. Take a look.
Thank you so much for joining us today for our first ever Kentucky Derby party. I'm Mia Gigante, and I'm a member of the Marillac St. Vincent Board of Trustees. I've been involved with Marillac St. Vincent for the last 7 or 8 years. My family's been involved for nearly 30 years, and it is my great pleasure to now serve on the Board of Trustees. I'm glad that you were all able to be with us for the 147th showing of the Kentucky Derby, as well as show your support for Marillac St. Vincent. I'm here today with Matt from the Levitt Street Inn, and we are going to do a couple of little drink demos for you, including 2 Derby favorites.
First up, Matt will be mixing the Mint Julep. The julep got its start as a medicinal concoction used to settle the stomach. As a cocktail, it blossomed in the American South in the late 1700s with a decidedly elite air, because not everyone had access to ice, nor the silver or pewter cup in which the drink is served. Matt begins by muddling some fresh mint leaves, adding 2 ounces of good Kentucky bourbon, followed by 1 ounce of simple syrup, a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters, adding ice to the shaker, giving it a good stir, and straining it into the pewter cup with a sprig of fresh mint to garnish.
make a Woodford Spire. The ingredients are in your event box, and we hope you enjoy.
The Woodford Spire is the official cocktail of the Kentucky Derby and perfect for any spring or summertime celebration. Matt starts with 2 ounces of good Kentucky bourbon, 2 ounces of lemonade, an ounce of cranberry juice, stirs to combine, and strains over ice. Don't forget the lemon wedge for garnish.
Well, thanks, Mia. Those cocktails look awfully good. And if you're at home and you're confused still, just take it from me. Just put the bourbon in the glass and an ice cube and call it a day. It'd be your own special kind of drink. We want to thank some of our sponsors. We would not be here without them. This just is not the kind of thing that gets thrown together for $25 in a couple of minutes worth of work. It is a huge undertaking to produce this virtually, and much of it is done through the fantastic funding of our sponsors. We have multiple levels, starting with our patron level. Thanks, of course, to Vince and Pat Foglia for making this possible. A big supporter at the Secretariat sponsor level, Joanne and Bill Kunkel, and Ken O'Keefe and Jason Stevens, also at that Secretariat level. Our Seattle Slew sponsorship level, Dorothy and Jack Gigante for jumping in there, and Katie and Drew Gant as well. William Blair has joined us at the affirmed level, and there are many, many more sponsors out there that are not at a quote-unquote official level, but we couldn't do this without you, and we thank you for your support. Whether it was $50,000 or $50, the work that gets done at Marillac St. Vincent is greatly benefited from your contributions. So we do have an auction going on today, and while normally I would be the guy up on stage doing the fast talky thing, that just doesn't work very well virtually. So we've got it all online, and our good friends over at AES have got it set up, and you can bid on those items right now. You'll see the link up above once again, or if you've sent the text message, you are there. How about a trip to Key West in Miami? 5 days with lodging, airfare, a couple days of fishing or snorkeling up at Isle Morada. We've got a dinner for 10 or cocktails for $75. Now, this is a package that we have sold previously at Marillac St. Vincent events, and it is always one of the most popular items that we have. So again, your choice, nice little dinner for 10, or you can do cocktails for $75. Either one of them will take place overlooking Millennium Park. Trip up to Kohler, Wisconsin is always great. We've got one of those in our auction. And how about a chance for a Chicago package where you get to golf at 4 of the top courses in Illinois. This will be 3 of you plus the member, and it should be great fun. Derby Day means a little bit of betting. This might be the one time a year. I remember my grandmother, who I never knew to be a gambler, but when it came to the Kentucky Derby, and I don't know how she did it back then, this was certainly before apps and websites were around, but she would always tell me she had a couple of bucks on a horse that she liked. So if you're like me and you don't know much about handicapping and you're just picking your favorite name that you see, we've got some experts here to help you out. 2 horse racing experts to help. Vinny Foglia, who we've already seen tonight, is an extraordinary MSV benefactor and racehorse owner. He's joined by his very good friend and trainer, Larry Rivelli. These 2 guys know what they're talking about. Larry is the winningest trainer in Illinois. So if you're ready to just close your eyes and point to the scratch sheet and hope you get a good horse, we can do you a little bit better. These experts here are going to help you out right now. If you want to place your bets, you can do so on twinspires.com. So Larry, let us know how we're doing, Vinny.
Hi, Vinny Foglia here. We are at Arlington International Racecourse. Sitting next to me is Larry Rivelli. He's been a trainer for 25 years. He has over 1,500 wins, and he's a good friend of mine. We're here to give some thoughts on the Kentucky Derby and the Run for the Roses. So each me and Larry have some picks in front of us, and we'll go over the past performances and hopefully pick a couple that we think are going to win, that everyone can invest in and earn some money. And of course, any proceeds that go back to Marillac St. Vincent would be greatly appreciated.
Vinny, my buddy, has been the leading owner in Illinois for the last 6 years. And like he said, we're pretty close, very good friends, and taking the time out to try to pick you guys some winners today.
So what are you looking at first, Larry?
Kentucky Derby Day. My first pick would be Essential Quality. It is an undefeated horse that was bred by one of the largest breeding operations in America, overseas and the United States. It's ran 5 times, won all 5 races, in excess of $2.5 million in earnings. Pretty much, I think this horse will be the favorite of the race and is a standout as far as I'm concerned. Vinny, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. You're talking about 5 starts, 5 winners. Its last one at Keeneland with the Bluegrass by a neck to Highly Motivated, but it will be a short price in the field, but it'd be hard to ignore this Tappet colt, and I like him also.
This horse has ran once over the surface at Churchill Downs, albeit its first race, but it won by a significant amount of distance over the second horse. So the horse is familiar with the surface, and I believe he'll be the favorite.
Yeah, and Brad Cox has been hot, so.
Yep.
Yeah, we both agree on essential quality. He'll be in there somewhere, so we'll move on to the next one.
I like Rock Your World, a lesser known operation, smaller trainer, but the horse is undefeated on the West Coast. My personal preference, when doing this a long time, I like East Coast horses better than West Coast horses. I think the competition is a little bit more on the East Coast, but in being said, this horse is also undefeated 3 for 3. They got him laid out at 31-1 for the morning line odds, and that'd be well worth the shot.
Yeah, that's a decent price there if you're looking for a longer shot. Rock Your World out of Candy Ride, Santa Anita in the Santa Anita Derby, won by 4 1/4. John Sadler being the trainer, I can't disagree with that one also. He should be in there as well.
Yep.
What's the next one, Larry? You thinking of Hot Rod Charlie?
Hot Rod Charlie, yep.
Gotta like the name.
Yeah,
for anyone who has a dog named Charlie or a kid named Charlie, Hot Rod Charlie.
Horse won the Louisiana Derby last time. This is a more experienced horse. It's ran 6 or 7 times. Has not won as much, over $1 million in being said, but still not as much as the first 2 horses that we spoke about. Also will be a price, probably be 6, 7, 8-1, and needs to be considered. I like the horse based off of his last race. The prior race he stumbled and had a very eventful trip, so he kind of wiped that one out.
Yeah, he came out of the fairgrounds in the Louisiana Derby, which he won by 2. He's out of Oxbow. I don't know a lot about the trainer, Mora, but, how could you argue with...
lesser known trainer, but obviously has done a really good job with this horse. Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Same with the connections. Oxbow is not a stallion that is prominent like the first 2 horses that we've talked about, but this will be the chance. If the horse runs 1, 2, 3 here, will leave his mark.
Yep, agreed with that one as well. So we move on?
Yeah.
The known agenda, maybe?
The 4th one, yep, the one that I actually had a horse at Gulfstream Park run against this horse. I didn't do so well, my horse, but this horse won the race. It was a prep for the Florida Derby, and then if it ran like it did in the Florida Derby, it was going to run in the Derby, and it did, and it won. It was 5-1. And the trainer, Todd Pletcher, is one of the top trainers in the country. He's been that for several years, and I have a lot of respect for him. So I can't leave this horse out.
Yeah, hard to leave out the Florida Derby winner. That's the East Coast connection that Larry was talking about. So I agree with that pick as well. How can you argue with Todd Pletcher, right?
No,
so,
one of the best trainers
and,
around.
If he's going to have Ortez on the mount, he's going to be tough as well. So that's another one. So if we're going to pick an order, that is the order we would pick.
Essential Quality, Rock Your World, Hot Rod Charlie, Known Agenda. You could bet to win on them all, however you guys like to handicap or bet, and being Essential Quality will be the favorite. If it doesn't win, one of these other 3 win behind it, it'll be profitable.
Agreed. So good luck to all. Make it a profitable day.
Thanks, Vinny and Larry. Those were some great tips. Hats off to you guys for those. You should have seen those 2 putting this together. They were hilarious, almost like brothers. They are really good friends, and we are so grateful to have them as part of this event. I'm Pete Bialdavecchio, President and CEO of Marillac St. Vincent Family Services, coming to you from our Foglia Family Center Gymnasium, which we are so grateful to have had during this pandemic. We've had students with us doing e-learning, and it was a wonderful place to have for them to be able to come and blow off some steam between classes. So grateful for this facility and the Foglias and all they do for us. We're thrilled to be able to bring you Run for the Roses, first event of its kind for us, and it is a wonderful group that came together on the committee to bring it to you and breathe life into this event. And Mia Gigante, I want to thank especially. Mia, her bartending skills are only outdone by her creativity. She was the one who came up with the idea for this event, and we really ran with it. And I want to thank the others on the committee, Dorothy Gigante, Joanne Kunkel, Kathy Miller, Katie Gant, Katie Stout, and Mike Condren. I also have to thank our board because they are supportive of everything we do that's part of the mission here at Marillac St. Vincent. And they believe in what we do and what we've been doing for over 100 years to serve those in need. And of course, during the pandemic, the last year plus, we've had a great increase in the need. And we've been able to help our families with gift cards for, could be groceries, prescriptions, help with utility payments, help with rent. And for our seniors, we were able to, our homebound seniors, able to bring them food on a regular basis, and we're still doing that. Before the vaccines came out, they were afraid to go to their grocery store, and they love having our help and a little visit. And of course, I mentioned the students that are doing e-learning with us. Between our 3 buildings, we've had 100 students with us daily doing e-learning so that their parents could go to work. And so there's been a vast array of needs that the pandemic has created that we've been able to step up and be able to serve families in that way to help them manage through the pandemic as well. And fundraisers like this let us show you what happens in the day-to-day. And so I'd like you to sit back and take a look at something that we've prepared for you to give you a little bit of insight into that day-to-day. You're going to love it.
Can we share? We got 1, 2, 3.
When a child is able to explore, they're able to imagine what might be.
To me, Marillac is a blessing. Marillac St. Vincent gives me peace, some type of comfort that I know that my child, Paris, is in good hands.
The easiest way to think about who we are is the 3 different program areas that we operate in. So it's early childhood education, and then our youth services. Our 3rd division would be our community outreach. Marillac St. Vincent have been around for 105 years. Strengthen, empower, and give voice to those in need. That is who we continue to be today.
Good job. When a child comes to Marillac St. Vincent, we have one of the most important jobs, one of the best jobs, because we can lay the foundation on how children look at education, how parents look at education.
When I enrolled the girls here in Marillac, I was super excited. It lifts a burden up off of me. I actually get to have them somewhere where I can get some help in their education, their learning, so it's not just all on me. I think, honestly, this is like their second home. I give thanks to Marillac because I know, with my help, I know they both will be successful and they both will make me proud. I love Marillac St. Vincent so much. They really just helped me become a better parent. And I'm going to say that because I did not know how to be a parent to my son who had a speech delay. I thought that he just supposed to talk and that's it. It felt very lonely at first, especially being a first-time mom. But as a mother, you kick into, what do I have to do now? Where do I go to get the services my son needs? And that's what I did. Good job, Paris. Paris is saying hello when he walks into the building. Paris is saying goodbye. Paris is expressing himself. I always say I appreciate the therapists in the school really being hands-on. They make it easy for me and his dad to do the things that we need to do to get ahead in life.
When children come into an environment where you believe that they can do anything, it creates a person that can change the world.
Welcome back, everyone. Just a reminder, make your donations right now. If you're bidding on something in the online auction, that's great as well. I saw a donation come in from Tyler a little bit ago. Also, Eileen Durkin and Tom Myers have both made contributions tonight. We thank you. And I couldn't be more pleased to be joined with this amazing guy right next to me. Please welcome Peter Biel-Delvecchio. Peter, welcome.
Thanks, Jim. It's such an honor for us to bring this special and new event to you this evening. But what's an even bigger honor is that Marillac St. Vincent is able to help people in need, like those you just saw in the video, the parents, families, children, and all who come through our doors. And right now, we need your help. I want to ask you to give in support of the work we've been committed to for over 100 years now, even during the most challenging times, like those brought on by this global pandemic.
Is there anybody out there that can make a $10,000 donation? I know it's not everybody, but there are those of you out here who can. If you haven't already, text MSVGIVE to 61094 and you'll get a link back to the site and you can make that contribution anytime.
Yeah. You know, Jim, before the pandemic, we used to give tours of Marillac St. Vincent, and I had so much pride showing off our mission in action. Children in the classrooms, distribution day at our food pantries, and on occasion, our seniors taking part in some of our community outreach programs like Take Charge. That's all been changed temporarily, but the need is still here with us. Let me give you an example. Even though CPS and charter schools have gone back to in-person learning, it's a hybrid model where they're in school 2 days per week and remote 3 days. Parents still need to go to work, so their children need a place to be and do their e-learning. They do that with us. That takes more bandwidth to have tens of simultaneous Zoom calls, Google Meets, everything going on. AT&T's been a great partner upgrading all 3 of our buildings to take this on, but it still costs us thousands more, and that'll continue into June. That's how your gift can make an impact right away.
I've seen more donations come in here, and we thank you for doing that again, whatever the amount is. Tell me a little bit about the impact that a gift like $10,000 would do for you.
Sure, Jim. You know, people might not know this, but not all the children that want to come to Marillac St. Vincent are eligible for our early childhood education. And to qualify for the state of Illinois' Child Care Assistance Program, families can't make more than 200% of the federal poverty level, which is a little under $50,000 for a family of 4. Every family has some skin in the game with a sliding scale tuition payment. We do all we can to help those families out and offer tuition assistance to those who've sought out our early learning program. Many parents have been called back to work, but the pandemic delivered them a big blow. So a gift like that helps with tuition. And I should note, the Daughters of Charity make their own incredible generous gift to help with tuition assistance every year, including this year. So those that give now are joining the Daughters in that effort. Another way those gifts can have an impact is by allowing us to purchase food for our food pantries. $5,000 will give us about 6 months of food in our food pantries.
I'm told a $1,000 gift today can help a family gain access to permanent housing or put speech assessment materials in our classrooms. We are so grateful for your support today in helping each and every gift make sure it gets to the people who need it the most. Pete, talk to me a little bit about speech assessment. What
Sure.
exactly is that?
So Jim, let me tell you about Sister Kara, our speech therapist. She is amazing. Think about the challenge of speech therapy with masks on. Compound that with students not being able to access the additional help they were getting in person at Chicago Public Schools. Buses would come pick them up every day, take them to the schools, and then bring them back. So Sister Kara picked up the mantle. She worked with the children one-on-one, facilitated Zoom sessions between the CPS therapists and the students in our care. She's been doing that since last June up until just about a couple of weeks ago. And Sister Kara uses a myriad of audiovisual aids and manipulatives to engage the children and develop their language skills and track their progress. She is a gift to our children, their parents, and our staff. We need to keep her stocked up with all the tools she needs. So thank you for all of these gifts coming in.
So we have something special tonight. Whenever you're raising money, if you can incentivize somebody who might be sitting on the sideline and going, what's going to really get them off the line? Tonight we have a match. One of our generous donor couples, Rosemary and Scott Gunnison, have agreed to match all $100 contributions. I know, this is great.
Unbelievable.
If you donate $100, the Gunnisons are going to match it up to $5,000. So basically, I need 50 of you to donate $100. John Doran, I see that contribution. Aaron and Mike Gibbons, the Sheedy family, thank you for your contributions tonight as well. $100 is a month's worth of gas. Quite candidly, it might only be 2 weeks worth of gas based on what I paid yesterday, but it really does matter. It'll help pay for the doulas that come in and help the young moms and the moms-to-be, the social workers visiting seniors in their homes, and it'll assist figuring out how to meet the needs. It's $100, and it really is a big deal, whether it's CTA passes to get people around or just helping them get through the next week. So it's a great opportunity for you right now. We've got $5,000 on the table as a match from the Gunnisons for $100 donations. And Pete, you're getting a bigger announcement than I've got.
I'm just getting the word here. You're not gonna believe it. So we just found out we got a $50,000 donation from Pat Foglia. It's unbelievable. We value every gift at all levels. And I want to thank Pat, and I want to thank all of you who are giving from your heart to support this Run for the Roses event, in support of Marillac St. Vincent, in support of helping all those in need. What a difference you've just made, and we're so grateful. Jim, it really doesn't get much better than this, does it?
It's really amazing to see the Foglias come in, and they are well known, obviously, in the nonprofit world, and they're amazing supporters for many organizations.
Right.
Clearly, Marillac St. Vincent is one that they care deeply for, so it is wonderful to have them here. We are watching the clock here. You're going to get a chance to watch the actual race. Post time is scheduled for 5:57 local time, so sometimes it runs a little bit late, but you'll get a chance to watch it here. We'll keep you posted. Thank you again to some of the folks, Catherine Camholes for coming in there. I saw Bob, I missed his last name, but Bob, I know you're out there, and I know you donated a nice contribution, so we thank you for that. If you have bought in on any of the squares, stick around. Once the race is open, you'll be notified via email. We'll reach out and we'll tell you whether or not you've won the big cash prize there. And we encourage you, if you're placing a bet, which you better get to it, if you win big, we'd like you to just, keep Marillac St. Vincent.
Share the wealth.
Yes, a little, a little something, a little tithing, maybe a 50-50 split or a little bit more if it's
we'll
just,
put it to good use, I promise.
That's the thing. That's, when I give to a nonprofit organization, to me, it is always about what am I getting? If I give you $1, are you getting $2 worth of services?
And more.
And that's what I look for. I trust you, and I like to think that most nonprofits out there are honest brokers, but it's that idea that when I give an organization like Marillac St. Vincent money, that you guys stretch it out.
We do.
The best possible way.
Stewardship is key for us.
And you've got great staff. That's a huge part
staff
of that,
is
too.
amazing. And let me just tell you a little bit. I'll tell everyone at home, too. The staff over the last year plus has been absolutely amazing in terms of their creativity, the way they have had to adapt. Their resilience is unbelievable, and it shows up time and again. And one example, our food pantries, they never closed for the whole time. And in the first month, so this time last year, we saw a 40% increase in the people coming to our food pantries, either for the first time or people who hadn't come for over a year. And we responded. And thankfully, there were more pantries that had popped up, and so that dissipated a little bit. But now some of those pantries have closed up shop. They were temporary, kind of pop-up shops. And so we're still there. And so it's just continued. So I can't thank the staff at both of our pantries enough for all they've done.
I've got to imagine that the volunteers that come through, and I know it's one of those things that, you know, for a while, a lot of them couldn't get in to help you, but I mean, it's got to be a huge part of your day-to-day.
Yes, and we can't operate the food pantries without volunteers. And so we've had volunteers throughout, people very cautious, and we put new protocols in place, and everybody coming through had to get their temperature taken, and we had to figure out new ways to distribute food. And that was the creativity that came from our staff. Like, how are we going to do this and still serve the 70 people that show up at the door on any given day for food, and do it safely for both the volunteers and for the guests coming into the pantry? So it was just every day COVID brings a new challenge that we've had to figure out.
You know, you talked about it earlier in partnering with AT&T and them making sure you had the additional bandwidth that you need for people getting through. And I hear that story, quite honestly, through a lot of my clients that I talk to. That's just part of it. One of the other things is just the unexpected, and again, nobody expected COVID.
Right.
But it's just, it's that you wake up all of a sudden and it's March 18th, 2020, and you're realizing you're spending $50,000 on hand sanitizer and things. I mean, that had to have been a huge impact. Were you guys prepared as best you can financially?
It took a little bit, but actually right away, and we had some very generous donors that all of a sudden we had 1,500 masks that we could start handing out, a couple of masks to each of our staff members as we got prepared to come back. And excuse me, when we reopened in June, we were ready. I think we had 720 milliliters of hand sanitizer for all 200 plus staff members. It was phenomenal. But no, we didn't have that on hand. People responded.
So a lot of what you're donating here today, ladies and gentlemen, is helping make up for that. It's not bad management. There wasn't an organization out there that expected to spend that kind of money on PPE and helping out their staff and those that they serve. So that money was there. They spent it because they had to. And quite honestly, the kitty needs to be refilled at this point in time. You know, this is still, we're not free and clear and everything's running great. There are still enormous underlying expenses to continue serving during this.
Yeah, all the time. And right now we're trying to figure out, you know, how are we going to invite visitors back in and do that safely? And, you know, right now we have parents who drop their kids off at the door. You know, when we started back in June, we were taking 3-month-olds and we couldn't invite the parents into the classroom. And we're trying to figure out, how do we bring them back in safely? More volunteers. You know, the food pantries are a little easier because they're separate from the rest of the building, and so we could do that safely. But now, how do we bring everyone back in is just another challenge, and it does. It takes money to figure it out. It's the protocols, just to buy all the thermometers we needed. And we got some donated, and some we had to go out and buy. You know, they use them every day. You know, there's a lot. But our staff, I got to give credit again for all the work they've done. And you know, on a real serious note, you know, we all know there are racial tensions in our country and how high they've been over the last year. And in a lot of ways, not since we've seen since the 1960s and the Civil Rights Movement. And seeing examples of systemic racism on TV and in video all the time. And our kids need to be able to process that. They need to talk to each other. They need to talk to some adults. And our staff have stepped up to really do that. And it's been incredible to see the ways that they have engaged and made it all possible for our kids to deal with the day-to-day that's come, especially in the time of pandemic.
So thank you. Every one of you that has tuned in tonight, those of you that have helped Marillac St. Vincent in the past and attended other events, this is the first, what we believe to be an annual Run for the Roses event. We thank the committee for putting this together, the Board of Trustees, the sponsors, the volunteers, everybody for making this a wonderful, wonderful first time through. I thank you for having me here, Peter. This is a great...
Thank you, Jim. You've been a great help.
Well,
we really appreciate it.
Thank you. My part was fairly easy. So let's turn you back over. Let's watch the race. Wear your mask, get your shot, and
here we go.
Derby.
And ready for the start. They're off. And the Kentucky Derby. and off to a solid beginning here. And it will be Medina Spirit who comes out the best to take the early lead. Soup and Sandwich on the outside, away running in second. Helium is close up to the pace in between those two, and these three will lead them early. And then it's Hot Rod Charlie behind them, Mandaloon on the inside. Essential Quality is outside of horses and 4 lengths from the front early. And then it's Super Stock, followed by Highly Motivated. Rock Your World's coming from well off the pace here as they make their way into the turn. He's a good 10 lengths off the lead. Then toward the inside, it's Old Pesos. They're being followed by Midnight Bourbon, who's well off the pace as well. Like the King is next on the inside. Then Brooklyn Strong. Dynamic One is next. Known Agenda, followed on the outside by Hidden Stash. And at the back of the pack earlier, Bourbonic. And the trailer is Keep Me in Mind. The first half mile was 46.7 seconds, and Medina Spirit leads them up the backstretch. The Bob Baffert trainee is 3/4 of a length in front. Soup and Sandwich on the outside second. Mandaloon drafts in right behind the front runners, third on the inside. Then it's Helium in fourth. Hot Rod Charlie behind them. Essential Quality begins to move on the far outside as they make their way around the far turn. Medina Spirit is still the leader here. And Mandaloon comes on the scene on the outside, a half length behind. Essential Quality is put to pressure. Hot Rod Charlie right in behind the leaders. Flavie and Pratt asking him to go now as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Medina Spirit and Mandaloon are stride for stride. Hot Rod Charlie and Essential Quality closing on the outside. The 4 of them come into the final furlong. Mandaloon fighting for the front. Medina Spirit battles on. Hot Rod Charlie on the outside. Essential Quality on the far outside. The 4 of them coming to the finish in the Kentucky Derby. Here's the wire. Bob Baffert does it again. Medina Spirit has won the Kentucky Derby. Mandaloon was second. Hot Rod Charlie was third. Essential Quality was fourth. 2:01:02 the final time. Bob Baffert stands alone with 7 Derby wins.
He has set the all-time record for most wins by a trainer in the Kentucky Derby. He told us last week the horse gives you everything every time. It was enough this time, and Medina Spirit has won a sensational Kentucky Derby. The 4th for John Velasquez.
Congratulations, Johnny. Woo. Wow. What a race. What a race. Hey. Hey, Oaks and Derby, huh?
Yes.
That all right with you? I don't think everybody's ever done that, have they? Huh?
No.
Old timer still got a couple left in.
To winning the Kentucky Oaks yesterday. And the congratulations for John Velasquez riding in his 23rd Kentucky Derby. The Hall of Famer who had Authentic and Always Dreaming and Animal Kingdom wins his 4th in a decade. And the Baffert magic happens again at Churchill Downs as Medina Spirit, not the best of the Baffert horses in the 3-year-old crop coming into this season, second in the Santa Anita Derby, wins the biggest of them all.
Just like last year, Jerry. Wasn't the best of the Baffert horses a while back, but he's good enough to get it done.
And this was no secret. John Velasquez says, I'm going to let him run. Bob Baffert told me speed is the name of the game. He let him run in the lead, and there was no gift in here. Those fractions were honest fractions. Medina Spirit cutting out and holding off all challengers, just as Mandaloon take a run at him.
Oh my gosh, what a race. We didn't know Medina Spirit was going to be there at the end. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the last hour with us. Thank you so much for being here today. We couldn't literally have done this event without the support of so many that we've already thanked, but we really couldn't have done it without our donors. And we are tremendously grateful for all that you do to support the work that we do and our mission at Marillac St. Vincent. And because you're here today, we might be able to do this next year. So thank you in so many ways for all that you do to support us. All the best. Take care.